Hi again and welcome to the channel, and today I'm joined by Domenico.
Hi Craig.
Hopefully you saw my other videos out there about my predictions about 2020 and what I feel's kind of coming up using my psychic abilities.
Yeah, I actually saw that video. It's really interesting, and I saw that you spoke about politics, how the world is going to be in 2020. But have you thought about doing a video about the astrology in 2020? What every sign could expect by this new year?
Yeah, well, I think we can do something like that. This is called sun sign astrology. It started in the 1930s when people used it in the newspapers.
Almost 100 years old.
Yeah. So let's ask me a few questions.
Right, 2020 is not only a new year, but it's even a new decade.
Indeed.
God, it's going to be pretty fun to live.
Yeah.
Great time to be around. That's something that happens only once every 100 years. And we are not only in the new decade, we are in the new decade of the new century.
Yeah, indeed we are.
So it could be a pretty interesting point for astrology.
I think so.
So what was the prediction for 2020 for Aries? Have you got anything?
Yeah, well, Aries, it should be a pretty good year generally. A lucky year, I think we want to say, for Aries. It's going to be a time when all that pent-up energy that they've had through 2019 is going to now be able to release. And so they'll feel that they can be a lot more dynamic, a lot more themselves. They're a fire sign. They love to be energetic. They're a real go-getter, Aries are. And this is going to be a time when they can really feel that they are back on track again.
Like the Aries.
So if you're Aries and you're thinking of doing something important, this is a good time, good year for setting up a business, starting to write a book, planning something new, a new venture, anything that involves the material world, really. It's going out there and making the world your own.
Just do it. So, how about the planets? Is there any specific alignment for Aries?
Yes, there's some interesting things going on in the chart. I'll just look at the charts here. Now it says we've got Jupiter sextile Neptune. Now that might not mean much to you.
Yeah, it does.
But this brings sort of passion and creativity into the person's life. So it's a good time for Aries to express their feelings. It's excellent time for partnerships. And if they're in a relationship, it should become a lot more sort of well-defined and be sure where they're going with things. Now, this year, Saturn is important with Aries. This will influence things like professional life and demand that they become quite efficient. It's a bit of a taskmaster in some ways, Saturn. But it will bring into Aries a lot more sense of responsibility. So you're going to have to be a bit more responsible. You're going to have a lot of luck, like I explained, but you've also got to be, how can I say, sort of like focused as well, right? So that's important if you want to turn this luck into real success. What else we got? Saturn's in Capricorn. Okay, so that's it's the 10th house, and it's in there for the entire year. So those qualities I've talked about will be important. And another important planet is Jupiter, because Jupiter governs things like luck and good fortune and cheerfulness a lot. So it's right next to Saturn, right up until December the 20th. And this will bring lots of satisfaction in areas like work in particular. So that you'll be working hard, you'll be playing hard, but you'll enjoy your work very much. So it's, a lot of hard work, but enjoying it. Who else we got here? Now, Mars and Venus, they're very interlinked at this year for them too. So it's going to be very important in terms of relationships, because Venus is obviously connected very much with the love. Mars is energy, dynamic, and it's quite good positionings for that through the year for them. So there's lots of personal development connected with that too. Could be good career changes for them, and generally visible to the world. You know, that people are going to be very connected. That romance will be in full swing.
So not only lucky in work, but even lucky in love.
Yeah, it seems like the two go together for Aries this year. So it's quite a good year generally for Aries.
I was born under the wrong start then.
Well, we'll come to Aquarius later because we're both Aquarians.
Oh, yes, we are.
Yeah, indeed. We've got some interesting surprises for Aquarians.
That's a good combination. Yeah. And how about money?
Money should be... money brings... They've been kind of needing security for a while, Aries. Their life has been a bit up in the air for a fair while now. So if the money comes in, as long as they can be a bit disciplined with it, because we've got Saturn there bringing this sense of need for discipline, they should be able to get a lot more security and financial security this year. It will get easier towards the end of the year as well, because there'll be late December is a good time for investments of any sort. So if you work at the stock exchange or anything like that, that's the time to really start thinking carefully about investing for the long term. You know, very time when you're about to start spending for Christmas and the rest of it. You know,
yeah, we all know about it. And another important thing now, that I believe a lot of viewers here that are Aries want to know about, is the love life in 2020. How it's going to look like.
Well, we always tend to focus on the positive things, but the last few years for Aries have been quite a hard time. Many Aries might have gone through divorces and breakups. They would have had quite a lot of conflicts. This year, they would have started to see the seeds of a better time romantically. But this year should be a time when they can start to get a bit more stability in their love life. They're both financially, in their career as well, there's a lot more stability. And perhaps this will give them at last a chance to start to think about perhaps the more important things in life and finding the right partner and having a bit more stable romantic life.
So it looks like it's going to be a great year for Aries.
Aries is pretty good all round. Not a bad year at all. Even though we've got that Saturn there in the background, which is a bit of a taskmaster, it's telling us that even though good things come, we've got to make the best of it. Otherwise, we could lose the good luck quickly and not turn it into real things that we can see in the world as something we've achieved.
Good luck, Aries. So this 2020 seems to be, it's going to be actually a good year for most of the signs.
Yeah, I think an interesting year generally, with some interesting numerology in it as well, because it's the 20th of the 2nd, 2020, and things like that coming up, which we can talk about another time. But yeah, I think an interesting time, and also as through the prediction videos, an interesting time politically, for example.
And people can see your 2020 prediction on the other video you've made.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, and there's lots going on there.
There's the link
somewhere up here or over there.
And this prediction were more general, this astrological prediction, this science prediction.
Yeah, I mean, this type of astrology we're doing now is sun sign astrology, they call it. So, but if you want to get something a little bit more in-depth and personalized for you, you can have a look on my website. You'll see it coming up on the screen here somewhere. You can call my readers. They can give you a psychic reading, a clairvoyant reading, or a specifically astrological reading based entirely upon your date of birth and what you do. Just go to the website and call the numbers, and you can get reading right now if you want.
Don't forget to subscribe on this channel.
Yep.
Click the bell so you will be notified for any new video that is coming up. And actually, you were telling me before that you were going to do a better astrological video per each sign.
More in depth.
Yeah,
a bit more in depth for each sign. And we might even later on start looking at some pet videos as well, I was thinking.
The pet astrology.
But some of that might be fun to do. We can get Boo in.
Yeah.
And what about your channel? Because you're doing this new thing when you've been filming all this with these cameras and things. And
yeah, if you are interested in making these videos, or if you are interested in photography, videography, filmmaking, you want to start your own YouTube channel. Well, I got my channel. The link is in the description. I'm the Italian Dad. It's pretty simple to find.
And it's fun and interesting. And you can see some of the bloopers we make sometimes and the things that go right and go wrong and how we do it.
And I show especially how you can make all these on a budget, on a really tight budget. because not many people can go out and buy a £25,000 or $25,000 camera. But in my videos and in my channel, you will see how you can make these videos with less than £500 or less than $500. I already have a video on which camera to buy if you just want to start and spend less than $500 or £500 between the camera, the lens and the microphone. That will get you started. So just go down in the description for the link and subscribe to it.
And talking about budgets, you can help us if you become a patron of this site, because we're trying to do something really special with this channel, as we've already said. You know, we're trying to get our own studio and places where we can work and transmit all sorts of interesting stuff to you that have never been done on YouTube before. Something unique, a community of spiritually minded people working together.
And we're trying to help even children in needs.
Indeed.
With the Patreon.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And then we do a lot of charitable work as well. And we'll keep you updated with that through the channel as well through 2020. Well, thanks for joining us, folks. And do keep subscribing. And thank you for supporting us over 2019. And all of you, no matter what sign, do have a good 2020. Life is what you make it. It doesn't matter about the planets and stars. It's us that make the changes in the world and can make our life happy.
Happy New Year, people.
Happy New Year.
Ciao.
Bye.
My wife Jane and I do our public work for free. We raise money through the theatres to raise money for our Hamilton Parker Foundation. This is a not-for-profit company that is soon to be registered as a charity. Now, our work is going in to help with the objectives of this charity, but you can help us as well by becoming what we call a patron of this channel. Now, as a patron, you'll get, first of all sorts of really interesting benefits. You'll have a sort of behind the scenes look at what goes on with our work. You'll get videos before other people. You'll get new videos. You'll get all sorts of benefits that are explained in the Patron website, and it has various tiers that you can subscribe to. So you can subscribe to just a little bit and get a few benefits, or you can subscribe a lot and get a lot of benefits. And what this means is that we can raise some money through this channel. Now, this money's not going to me and Jane to give us a fancy lifestyle. This money is going into our foundation that has some fantastic objectives. Now, the first thing we want to do with the foundation is, first of all, get a cyber center together, a cyber temple, as it were, a place where we can introduce new people to you through this channel. So by supporting this channel and giving something to the as a patron, you will find that this channel will start to get better and better content with more and more interesting things going on. We'll be able to get the cameras, we'll be able to have the space, we'll be able to have the right setting where we can build the energy to do things such as mediumistic circles and so forth online. But also our work extends further than that, because we are hoping ultimately to build a spiritual center, a psychic ashram, as it were, where people like you can come to visit and take part in an interactive way through this channel as well. But also we are doing a lot of what we call spiritual service. We are going out and giving a large part of the income we generate to people in India who are destitute. We've given to schools, we've fed children that are in need, we've helped mentally handicapped people, we've given cows to old people in India. Some of all this you'd have seen in my movie Mystic Journey to India on Amazon. But all of this is part of our mission, part of our remit to help the world. Because we're not only trying to find our divine nature, we're also trying to live what we learn and express it in ways that are really beneficial to the world. So if you follow this channel, but more importantly, if you become a patron of this channel, you can help us to take this whole mission onto a much higher level than any psychic work has ever been done before.